أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وللعصر students, Assalamu alaikum. Today is the 5th of Sha'ban, 1441. Today is Monday, March 30th, 2020. Please stand and face the Qibla. Let us begin by reciting together from the Book of Allah, a Surah Fatiha, for the marhumin of our donors, and for the souls of all the believers who have departed this world.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين صدق الله العلي العظيم.
Let us now remember our living Imam alayhi salam and pray for his protection and reappearance.
بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم اللهم كل وليك الحجة ابن الحسن صلواتك عليه وعلى آبائه في هذه الساعة وفي كل ساعة وليا وحافظا وقائدا وناصرا ودليلا وعينا حتى تسكنه أرضك طوعا وتمتعه فيها طويلا برحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين. O Allah, now and always we ask you to pray for Imam al-Hujjah, son of Hussain, your wali, a guardian, protector, guide, and helper, and to establish him on your earth as a leader, followed by all and for a long lifetime to prosper. Salawat.
Welcome to the school-wide celebration of the birth anniversary of Imam Hussain alayhi salam, Imam Zainulabideen alayhi salam, and Hazart Abbas alayhi salam. We will begin our program with the recitation of the Quran.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم لا أقسم بهذا البلد وأنت حل بهذا البلد ووالد وما ولد لقد خلقنا الإنسان في كبد أيحسب أن لن يقدر عليه أحد يقول أهلكت مالا لبدا أيحسب أن لم يره أحد ألم نجعل له عينين ولسانا وشفتين وهديناه النجدين فلاقتحم العقبة وما أدراك ما العقبة فك رقبة أو إطعام في يوم ذي مسغبة يتيما ذا مقربة أو مسكينا ذا متربة ثم كان من الذين آمنوا وتواصوا بالصبر وتواصوا بالمرحمة أولئك أصحاب الميمنة والذين كفروا بآياتنا هم أصحاب المشأمة عليهم نار مؤصدة صدق الله العلي العظيم. In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. I swear by the city, Makkah, and you, O Muhammad, are free of restriction in the city. and by the Father and that which was born of him. We have certainly created man into hardship. Does he think that never will anyone overcome him? He says, I have spent wealth in abundance. Does he think that no one has seen him? We have not made for him 2 eyes and tongue and 2 lips, and have shown him the 2 ways. But he has not broken through the difficult pass. And what can make you know what is breaking through the difficult pass? It is freeing of a slave, or feeding on a day of severe hunger, or feeding on a day of severe hunger, or a needy person in misery, and then being among those who disbelieved and advised one another to patience and advised one another to compassion. Those are the companions of the right, but they who disbelieved in our signs, those are the companions of the left. Over them will be fire closed in.
Please help me welcome Sheikh Mehdi with a united Salawat.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين صلى الله على سيدنا محمد وآله الطاهرين سيما بقية الله في السماوات والأراضين ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى لقاء يوم الدين آمين رب العالمين. Well, students and staff, Assalamu alaikum. I would like to extend my congratulations to the Imam of our time, and to all of you for entering the blessed month of Sha'ban and for the wonderful occasions in the beginning of this month, which includes the birth of Imam Hussain, Abu Fadl al-Abbas, and Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. May Allah make all of you and all of us healthy and safe and amongst the true followers of the Ahlul Bayt alayhi salam. There is no culture, school of thought that has been able to define a higher level and status for human beings compared to the place that Islam has defined for us. According to Islam, mankind is created as the best of Allah's creation, and because of the great and unmatched potential that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed on us, He has made us the center of His creation and has created everything else in this world for us. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the Quran, خَلَقَ لَكُم مَّا فِي الْأَرْضِ جَمِيعًا. Allah has created everything on the earth for your sake. If we choose the right path in our lives, and if we fulfill our potentials, then we will be amongst the best of God's creation. Next to this unique status that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, He has also given us responsibilities to carry as well. We have responsibilities towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, towards ourselves, our family, and our society. Today, in light of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam's life, I would like to share 4 main responsibilities that we all have in our life. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala through the honor of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam to grant us the tawfiq to be able to take steps towards these responsibilities on daily basis in our lives. The first responsibility that we have is seeking knowledge, to learn and to search for knowledge eagerly, enthusiastically, and vigorously. Knowledge is a virtue that determines our value as a human being. However, we need to remember that seeking knowledge is only beneficial for us if we do so for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are many people who learn and who go after education for the sake of knowledge because they enjoy learning, just because they love knowing more. There are those people who love knowing more for the sake of this world, because then they will get to have a better job and higher salaries. There are those who are after certification, after reputation. But we need to remember that seeking knowledge is only beneficial if we do so for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. In one hadith, the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ يُحِبُّ بُقَاةَ الْعِلْمِ. Allah loves those who run after learning. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam in a tradition says that if people knew what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has placed in learning and in education, they would surely search for knowledge even if it involved taking risks, even if it involved throwing themselves in dangers. Seeking knowledge is so important that we should not give up this responsibility under any circumstances. If you look at the lives of our scholars, for example, Allama Halli, who used to live 700 years ago, if you can imagine the life in 700 years ago, they wouldn't have the comfort of the rooms that you have today, the electricity, the beds, the chairs, the desk. None of these things was available at that time. There was no AC to cool them down in hot temperature of summer. During that very hot summers of Iraq, Allama Hilli used to live in a very small city called Hilla. In that time and with those difficulties, he was so dedicated in learning and in teaching that he was able to write more than 350 volumes of books during his life. What is most important is that these scholars, with all the hard efforts that they put in learning and teaching, they always remembered that learning and knowledge should be done only for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And if we learn with this sincere intention, every moment that we spend learning something new is a step that we take towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The second responsibility we have next to learning is to cleanse our hearts and purify our actions and behaviors through sincere worshipping of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. To build a strong connection with our Creator by remembering Him and praying towards Him. All of prophets that were sent by Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala were people who would engage in worshipping God. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala describes all of the prophets in Quran by saying all of them were servants who used to worship God. Kanu lana Abidin. All of them had these traits. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam resembles the servitude of Allah and worshipping Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Imam Sajjad alayhi salam would engage in prayers to a level that he would have no concern for what was happening around him. If someone would have called him, if someone would have talked to him during Salah, he would pay no attention towards them. Month of Sha'ban is a very blessed month of remembering Allah and praying towards Him. It had been few years that we all had the success to sit next to each other and recite salawat in the month of Sha'ban after Salat al-Dhuhr together. This was an excellent habit that we had, and I want to ask all of you to remember to keep these habits in your homes. After Salat al-Dhuhr, recite the salawat in the month of Sha'ban as we used to do in our school together. And remember your friends, your classmates, your teachers, the ones who used to sit next to you and recite the salawat with you and pray for them as well. The third responsibility that we have is to spread the knowledge we gain and give good advices to other people and to guide others towards Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. There are so many different good and wise advices that Imam Sajjad alayhi salam has left for us. One of them is a very beautiful and short tradition from Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. Imam alayhi salam says, even if Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala forgives all the sins of a believer, there are two sins that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive. One of them is تَضْيِيعُ حُقُوقِ الْإِخْوَانِ, to violate the rights of our brothers. God forbid if we say something to break someone else's heart. If we do something to a friend or to a sibling that make them upset. This is a sin that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will not forgive until that individual forgives us first. Now these are times that we are spending with our siblings at our homes, and sometimes because we may get tired, we might get bored, we may get frustrated from being home, it might be difficult to keep our smile and show each other kindness. But we need to remember this is a responsibility that we have. The fourth responsibility we have is to use whatever means we have in this life to serve other people when they are in need of our help, to look for those who are weaker than us and to care for them, to stretch our hands towards those who are helpless. A very interesting story, during the time of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam, only 2 years after the event of Ashura, when Imam alayhi salam came back to the city of Medina, after a while people of Medina revolted against Yazid and Banu Umayyah. And as a result, they decided that all members of the family of Banu Umayyah who used to live in the city of Medina should be exiled from Medina. One of these characters was Marwan ibn Hakam. Marwan ibn Hakam was a very mean person. He was a very cruel person. He was a very evil man. He participated in few battles against Imam Ali alayhi salam. He is the one who suggested to the governor of Medina on the night that he invited Imam Hussain alayhi salam to pay allegiance to Yazid, and Imam alayhi salam told them to give me a day to think about it. Marwan ibn Hakam was the one who was present in that gathering, and he told the governor of Medina that you should kill Imam Hussain alayhi salam right away and don't allow him to leave Medina. So he was a very evil man. Marwan ibn Hakam was amongst those people who had to leave town, and he was not allowed to stay in Medina. However, Marwan had a large family, and he was worried about his family. So he came and asked Imam Sajjad alayhi salam for help, although he was an enemy of Imam Sajjad alayhi salam. He came and talked to Imam Sajjad alayhi salam and asked Imam to help him. He said, I am willing to leave Medina, but I have a family. What would happen to my family? I'm worried about them. People are taking my home, and my family don't have any place to live. Imam alayhi salam agreed for the family of Marwan to come and live with him, and Imam alayhi salam protected them. This was the help that Imam alayhi salam granted even towards his enemies. So Imam alayhi salam shows us that one of very important responsibilities that we have is to always be concerned about those who are in need, those who are oppressed and are weaker than us, and we are able to help them. So these are 4 responsibilities that as human beings Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given us, and by fulfilling these responsibilities, inshallah, we can be amongst the best of Allah's creation. I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to grant you and your families safety and health, and to protect all of you, and inshallah we get to see each other again very soon. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
Our next presentation is by Samana Ali, a special Siblings Day presentation.
I love my siblings because they make me happy, they make me laugh, they give me company. I just love my siblings.
I like my sister because they are really nice. I like my siblings because whenever I want them to get something from me, they always get it. And whatever I want to do, they listen to it. Like if I want to play soccer, they always go downstairs and play with me. And my brothers, they always help me learn tricks in soccer, how to get past people and stuff. And whenever I want to go outside, they come with me. I never have to force them because they always come.
I like my brother because he helps me. I'm thankful for my siblings because they're kind to me.
I like my sister helping me with homework.
I love my siblings because they help me in my work, they play with me, and we have fun together. I appreciate my sister's generosity and the way she shares things when I need them. I love my siblings because they care for me, they help me with my homework, and we have fun together.
I love my sister, and she does everything to me that I like when she wants to play with me, and or she wants to go outside with me and play.
Our next presentation is by Shiza.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Birth of Imam Sajjad Zainulabideen alayhi salam. The 5th of Shaban marks the anniversary of the birth of our 4th Imam, Imam Ali ibn Hussain alayhi salam. Some of his famous alqab, honorific titles are Zainul Abidin, the adornment of the worshippers, Sayyid as-Sajidin, the leader of those who do sajda, and as-Sajjad, the one who performs excessive sajda. Imam al-Baqir alayhi salam narrates, My father, Ali ibn Hussain, would perform sajda whenever he remembered a favor of Allah. He would do sajda whenever he would recite an ayah, words from the book of Allah that contains sajda in it, and whenever Allah would repel any evil from him that he was afraid of, or the plotting of any evil person, he would do sajda. And whenever he would finish any obligatory prayer, he would do sajda. And whenever he would be successful in reconciling two people, he would do sajda. There was a mark of sajda on all places of his body that touched the ground during sajda. Hence, he was known as as-sajjad.
Our next presentation is by Sajjad.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Assalamu alaikum. Today we will be celebrating the birth of Imam Hussain, the birth of Imam al-Sajjad, and the birth of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. I will be reading now an excellence of Imam Hussain alayhi salam in ahadith. First, Hussan and Hussain alayhi salam are the leaders of the youths of paradise. Second, Hussan alayhi salam is from me and I am from Hussain alayhi salam. Allah befriends those who befriends Hussain, and he is the enemy of those who bear enmity to him. Third, whoever wishes to see such a person who lives on earth but whose dignity is honored by the heaven dwellers should see my grandson Hussain alayhi salam. 4. O my son, your flesh is my flesh and your blood is my blood. You are a leader, the son of a leader and the brother of a leader. You are a spiritual guide, the son of a spiritual guide and the brother of a spiritual guide. You are an apostolic imam, the son of an apostolic imam and the brother of an apostolic imam. You are the father of 9 imams, the 9th of whom would be the Qaim, the last infallible spiritual guide. 5. The punishment inflicted on the murderer of Hussain alayhi salam in hell would be equal to half of the total punishment to be imposed on the entire sinners of the world. Sallu ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Our next presentation is by Alia Zaidi.
Assalamu alaikum everyone. Walad Mubarak to you all on this special day. Today, Sha'ban 4th, marks the birth anniversary of the beloved brother of Imam Hussain, Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Abbas alayhi salam was the son of Ali, Amir al-Mu'mineen, and Mu'mineen bint Hizam Kilabi. Being a respected and loyal man amongst the followers of Ali, Abbas was attributed with many honorific titles. Some of these titles included As-Saqi, the one who makes others drink; Sahib Liwa al-Hussain, the flag bearer of Hussain; Qamar Banu Hashim, the moon of Banu Hashim; and, of course, Abul Fadl, the father of virtues. Just by hearing these beautiful names given to Hazrat Abbas makes you recognize his status. In fact, according to some narrations, Imam Sajjad is known to have said, "May Allah have mercy on my uncle Abbas, for surely he preferred others over himself, and proved himself in time of difficulty. He sacrificed himself for his brother until his 2 hands were cut. So Allah replaced them with 2 wings, with which he flies along with the angels in paradise, just like Ja'far ibn Abi Talib. And verily, Abbas's station with Allah the Blessed and Exalted on the Day of Judgment, so all the other martyrs look upon him with envy." And these are just a few of the several ways that express the significance of Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Inshallah, we can all try to follow in his footsteps, become our Imam's greatest followers upon his return. We pray you are all having a wonderful and safe time.
Our next presentation is a poem that will be recited by Siraj.
Nare Haydari, Haydari, Nare Salawat,
Allahumma salli ala Muhammad wa ali Muhammad.
Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Together. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain is a candle of light, who glows both in the day and the night, guiding us on to the right. To Karbala we want to fly. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Together. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain is a savior, he is a sinless, he's a pure. He will guide me, he's the cure. I will always knock at your door. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. 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 You are Safinatun Najat. You are Ihdina Sirat. You are so close to my heart. From it you will never depart. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Together. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. I will hold on to your rope, for you are my only hope. Without you I will never cope. Guide me to the narrow road. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Together. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Hussain, 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 Ya Hussain. Nare salawat.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Nare Haydari.
يا علي.
Our next presentation is a poem that will be recited by Noor Hamoud.
Peace be upon Abul Fadl. Peace be upon Abul Fadl Abbas. He preferred his brother to himself and sacrificed himself for his brother, supplied him with opportunities of today for the rewards of the hereafter, and hurried to supply the family of the Imam with water. him recognized, and you, his Imam and the successor of the Prophet of Allah in his time, obeyed him and sacrificed all the things that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had bestowed him, including life, properties, and family for Imam Hussain, peace be upon him, to gain Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala's satisfaction. So he achieved high ranks and set out provision for the hereafter. But how much do we know our Imams and their commands? How much do we try to obey their commands? How much are we similar to Hazrat Abbas, peace be upon him? Congratulations to all of you upon the 4th of Sha'ban, the birth anniversary of the righteous servant of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the benevolent companion of Imam Hussain, peace be upon him, Hazrat Abbas alayhi salam. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Wali al-Asr students, please stand and face the Qibla for ziyarah.
زيارة إمام حسين. السلام عليك يا وارث آدم شفوة الله. السلام عليك يا وارث نوح النبي الله. السلام عليك يا وارث إبراهيم خليل الله. السلام عليك يا وارث موسى كليم الله. السلام عليك يا وارث عيسى روح الله. السلام عليك يا وارث محمد حبيب الله. السلام عليك يا وارث أمير المؤمنين ولي الله. السلام عليك يا ابن محمد المصطفى. السلام عليك يا ابن علي المرتضى. السلام عليك يا ابن فاطمة الزهراء. السلام عليك يا ابن خديجة الكبرى. السلام عليك يا ثار الله وابن ثاره والوتر الموتور. أشهد أنك قد أقمت الصلاة وأتيت الزكاة وأمرت بالمعروف ونهيت عن المنكر وأطعت الله والرسول حتى أتاك اليقين. فلعن الله أمة قتلتك ولعن الله أمة ظلمتك ولعن الله أمة سمعت بذلك فرضيت به. يا مولاي يا أبا عبد الله، أشهد أنك كنت نورا في الأسلاب الشامخة والأرحام المطهرة. لم تنجسك الجاهلية بالأنجاسها ولم تلبسك من المدلهمات ثيابها. وأشهد أنك من دعائم الدين وأركان المؤمنين. وأشهد أنك إمام البر التقي الرضي الزكي الهادي المهدي. وأشهد أن الأئمة من الولدك كلمة التقوى وعلم الهدى والعروة الوثقى والحجة على أهل الدنيا. وأشهد الله والملائكة والأنبياء ورسله إني بكم مؤمن وبإيابكم موقن وبشرائع الدين وخواتيم عملي وقلبي لقلبكم سلم وأمري لأمركم متبع. صلوات الله عليكم وعلى أرواحكم وعلى أجسادكم وعلى أجسامكم وعلى شاهدكم وعلى غائبكم وعلى ظاهركم وعلى باطنكم.
Jazakumullah khair. Thank you all so much for joining us for our special assembly. Remain in the care of Allah. Remember, Allah loves you. Remember Him. Fi amanillah.